Hey guys, welcome to my nursing channel. My name is Gretel and let's hop straight into this video. Okay, so this video is mostly dedicated towards new grads or new nurses going into new jobs. Basically, my tips on how to get the most out of your orientation, aka survive your orientation. So I'm really going to emphasize this. This is something that I wish as a new grad I would have paid more attention to. So I am emphasizing this to you guys. Know where your emergency equipment is. Where are the crash carts located on your unit? The rooms. Where is the emergency button in case something happens? Is your oxygen working? Is your suction working? Know where the RSI kit. This is what you need if someone's getting intubated. Know where that's located, or even an epi kit if somebody comes in with an allergic reaction. Those are things that you need to know where they are. Yes, people can help you, but it's something so good to know. So while you're on your unit, look at that stuff. For my next tip, ask a lot of questions. You're going to have a preceptor that you are mostly going to be asking your questions to, but don't be afraid to ask questions to the rest of the team if your preceptor isn't there. Your co-workers, those are your team. You guys are all a team together. So it's important to socialize with them as well, even if it's something as simple as asking them a question about something. Grow those bonds, help them out if they need help. Really just put yourself out there. And for example, like when I was in orientation, my preceptor would be like, oh, like so and so is doing this, like go look at that. So I would go watch different procedures that you don't see too often that another nurse is doing. Really get involved in those things as well. Ask them questions, because there was times where I was like watching another nurse do something, my preceptor couldn't be in there, so I would just ask her, like, hey, like blah 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 and all that. So ask your questions now. This is your time to do that. This is your time to learn. When you are on your own, you are still going to have questions, but I always say, hey, ask the most during your orientation before you're alone, because you don't want to hold back from asking stuff just so you don't look stupid, just to like not know it in the future, and then let's say something happens and it was something so important to know and you don't want to deal with that. For my next tip, I recommend you to take notes. I carried a little small notepad that I could slip straight into my pocket. It was about this big. I currently don't have it on me, but I still do have it. I refer to it sometimes. But basically, during your orientation, I'm telling you, you're going to be learning so many things and you're not going to remember all of them. And that's okay, because there's just too many things to remember and you're not expected to remember everything right away. This is why I recommend taking notes. In my little notepad, I would take notes about different procedures I saw, or even like paperwork. Let's say like you need such and such for every admission, or you need such and such for every transport, or you need to know the rate of this and this, or just like little things like that. I would write it down because it was something I could refer to. Even the day before I was on my own, I was so nervous to the point that I like took out my notepad and I studied it, and it was really helpful because I had written so many different notes about different things. And it's just good to like take notes. You won't be asking the same questions right over and over, which isn't a bad thing to do, but I think a notepad or just having something to refer to is really going to bring success to you as a nurse, and for you to truly get the most out of your orientation. So I also recommend the use of a planner. There's going to be a lot of outside classes that you're going to take during orientation, such as certifications, PALS, ACLS, BLS, all that. So just using a small planner to kind of just write deadlines for classes, or just like deadlines for different things, just to be a little bit more organized and stay more in the loop of everything you need to get done by the end of your orientation. So for my following tip, just gonna be a little bit more heart to heart. Really be emotionally prepared. You're going to see a lot of different things, and not everything is going to be happy. As a new grad, you already feel so much anxiety, which is normal. You're starting a new chapter. You're going to be learning a lot of things. People's lives are your responsibility now, so of course you're going to carry so much anxiety with you. Maybe a lot of the time you'll feel like you're not smart enough. You'll feel like you can't do it, or you'll even question your career overall. And those are normal things to feel as a new grad, because you're literally being thrown into a fire, where you're just experiencing so much all at once. For example, for me, I don't know life before COVID, and I know COVID has made the hospitals a lot tougher for healthcare providers across the board. And I have dealt with seeing a lot of death, of course, and even like dealing with patients who were extremely ungrateful, patients who were very mean and just made me feel like I was less, even though I was giving them my all. As well as just like, you're just in nursing, you're giving a lot of yourself to your patients all 12 hours, and emotionally that could be very, very draining. So be prepared for those emotions, because you may have not I didn't expect that. I never want you guys to feel, even though I know that you're not going to feel smart all the time. A lot of the time you're just not gonna feel like you're smart enough, or even you might even come to a point where you feel like you're not good enough. And I just want you guys to know that you are. There are so many nurses that are great nurses, and they're successful, and they were once new grads and they felt that same exact way. So emotionally, like, tell yourself, hey, I could do this. Anyways, that is the end of all my tips. I really hope this video is helpful to you guys. I will link my video for the NCLEX, basically for all of you guys in the process of taking your NCLEX. Anyways, you guys are going to kill it in orientation. You're going to be great nurses, and I am so proud of you for getting that job. So good luck, everybody. Bye.